calm, free version. Laura and Michael were shocked when Jenny, who had just lost her son, brought home a cute baby. It turned out that she had seen an advertisement for a nanny in a supermarket window. The woman was a busy single parent with a baby. The hardworking Jenny was quickly recognized by her and was immediately put on the job, while the other woman was away at work. Jenny brought the baby straight back to the mansion, and the four of them even took a happy family photo. With the addition of the new baby, everything seemed to be back to the old days and happy smiles spread on everyone's faces again. In order not to be discovered by the other side every day before the women left work, Jenny always sent the baby back on time. However, the message they received that day almost exposed them. The three of them were scrambling to clean up the messy house and put everything back in its place because the manager of the cleaning company had come to inspect the place. Laura went out to greet them, but as soon as they entered, they noticed a missing painting on the wall, which Laura said had been removed before they arrived, and silver candlesticks and cutlery, which Laura claimed had been sent away to be maintained. Although they managed to slip past the manager, they didn't realize that a much bigger crisis was on the horizon. That day, the town pastor visited the woman's employer's home, and Jenny was on her way to the mansion with her baby, so the pastor offered to give her a ride. When the car arrives, the pastor recognizes Mike, a poor man who stole a statue from the pastor's church a few months ago. The pastor was so upset that he was about to call the police. Mike lost his mind and threw the pastor into the pool and drowned him in order to prevent his happy family from being destroyed by the outside world. When he came out of the pool, he was terrified. After all, it was the first time he had ever killed anyone. Laura rushed over to comfort him and encouraged him that he had done the right thing by protecting his dream home all by himself, since the owner of the supermarket had seen them on the way there. Mike had to disguise himself as a priest and take Jenny and the children back. When the car pulled up in front of the supermarket, Jenny waved goodbye to Mike in front of the owner. He then parked the car near the church and left as if nothing had happened, going into a toilet and changing his face. In the evening, Laura waited anxiously at home, relieved when Mike returned safely. They burned the priest's clothes and then took the body to the car in the dark and drove a few dozen kilometers to bury it deep in a dense forest. When they got back, Laura gave him a big hug and praised him for being the hero of the family, and Jenny gave her a strong affirmation. The next day, the three of them continued to enjoy the good life as if nothing had happened. But how long could the joy have lasted when it had gone bad? Soon Laura was informed by the manager that the owner would be arriving the day after tomorrow. And her mind went blank. Looking at the happy family, she couldn't accept the loss of all this and urged Michael to kill the owner and replace him. But Michael thought she was completely crazy. Unable to convince Laura, Michael said he'd have to think about it overnight. The next day, Laura received new news that the owner's wife had a baby and asked her to organize the nursery. At this point, determined Mike went to Laura and said he refused to do it. But Laura didn't object, which made Mike very happy, because they could go away and continue to live as relatives. Laura prepared a last supper to celebrate the new life they would start tomorrow, and they talked freely about their future. Early in the morning, the mansion, which had been filled with laughter, fell silent again, and the Real owner returned home to a house full of wrecks, where yesterday's hopeful people were now cold corpses. In this dreamlike manner, the family spent the happiest time of their lives. But when Laura realized that this dream was about to wake up, she chose to fall asleep. The reality of suffering and hardship was a gulf they could never escape, and after being half crushed, they had a taste of perfection, and perhaps it was the best possible ending for them. But what Laura doesn't realize is that stealing someone else's life is a mistake, and her self-delusion leads her deeper and deeper into a life she can't get out of. A life she can't get out of. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and no matter how hard life gets, being positive is the right way to live.